Hey guys, what's up? I hope you're good. Welcome back to my channel, and welcome to a reading vlog of me rereading all of my 5 stars of 2023. Now in 2023, I had 25 stars, and I just want to see if I give them 5 stars again. And you know, with the holidays upon us right now, I'm very stressed. My anxiety is up a notch, and I would really need that, you know. So how this will work is, first you'll have a little video of me in front of my Christmas tree. Can you see it? Can you see this baby? Telling you about the book, like what the book title and author are, when I read it, what it is about, and then we will jump to me reading them, and you know, little reading vlog moment. So my first 5-star of the year was Stuck With You, which is a little novella from Ali Hazelwood. You can actually find this in the Love to Love You book, which is her novella collection. It is, of course, women in STEM. Now, I'm going to tell you what it says on the back here. It says, Stuck With You is a civil engineer and her nemesis take their rivalry and love to the next level when they get stuck in a New York elevator. Now, from what I remember, it's kind of a second chance romance after like a one night that didn't turn out the best. I honestly do not remember 100%. It is a 2-timeline novella with like when their one night / date / whatever happened a couple weeks ago, and the now with them stuck in the elevator. So I read Stuck With You January 6th and 7th. Well, that was my second time reading Stuck With You and my second time loving it. As always, Ali Hazelwood's humor hits. It's a 10 out of 10 for me. So Stuck With You is 120 pages, I think. And it is about Eric and Sadie, who both are engineers and work in the same building for different companies. And 3 weeks ago, they had 24 perfect hours together. So they met in the morning, they had a little day at night, and a hookup. And now, because of something that happens, discovered during the story, Sadie's actually mad at him and hates him. And, well, in the present, they're stuck in the elevator together after a power outage. So, in the elevator, they get to talk about what happened on both their point of views, and, like, Sadie gets to say, like, why it's like that and why she feels that way. And yeah, I really like it. It is my favorite out of the 3 novellas by Ali Hazelwood. And yeah, loved it so much. Second book I gave 5-star to this year was the Unhoneymooners. It was the second time I was reading it, second time I gave it 5-star, and I can't wait to reread it again. Fun fact, I gave the Unhoneymooners as a Christmas gift in 2022 to my mom, and she read it not too long ago, and she also gave it a 5 stars, so you know. So this is a rom-com about Olive and Ethan, I think it is. Yeah, Olive and Ethan, who go to a wedding, and after a big food poisoning that happened at the wedding, Olive and Ethan get the honeymoon. Now, the thing is, Olive and Ethan don't like each other, but they will have to fake being newlyweds during this honeymoon so no one knows that, you know, they're not. I read the Unhoneymooners through January 24th to 26th. I'm about to start my reread of the Unhoneymooners. It's gonna be the 3rd time I read this, actually, and I'm just so ready for Ethan. I just love Ethan so much. I do love that on page 2, Dane is called a dude bro fiancé because when you know what's happening in the book, yeah. I mean, I would personally say that he's not only a dude bro, but also a fucking bitch. But you know, potato, potato, I guess. People usually say this with tomato, but just potato, apparently. As always, I have the bestest reading buddy with me. So I was telling myself I'll read like half of this book before I go to bed today so I can finish it on the 31st, which is tomorrow, so I can start the year by reading Den of Vipers. So I'm like, oh, like I'll just read half. I'm more than halfway through. It's 3-something a.m. honestly. It's 3:40. I'm on page 260. I'm not tired, but I need to sleep tonight. But I just love this book so much. Also, I of course still have the sleepy baby with me. Update before going to bed, I got to chapter 14, page 273. If you've read it, it's just after the mountain sunrise thing. So shit is starting to go down, both like in their relationship and just in their lives. And yeah. So it's technically 2024 now, but I haven't went to bed yet. So I still have until I go to bed to finish the Unhoneymooners. I have like less than half of it left. I think I have like 100 pages left, so we're good. So I did not finish it before going to bed last night, but I did get to page 309, which is chapter 16. If you know it, it's just after they got home and the whole job thing happens. And yeah, definitely gonna try to finish this today. So I'm on page 358 and I'm getting to my favorite part of this book, which is the Amy Dane situation at the end of this. It's fucking glorious. Alright, so January 1st, just finished my reread of the Unhoneymooners. Wouldn't be a 5-star for me with my new like rating system, but definitely like a 4.5. You know, I love Ethan and Olive, and I love that it's not just like rom-com, the enemies to lovers fall in love, tee-hee. But I love that we also have like all of the family stuff going on. Whether it's with Amy and Dane, who just got married, or with just her big family. One of my favorite side characters is Diego. I love him. The gay cousin. He is comic relief, but fucking amazing, you know? So yeah, really enjoyed it. And I'm off to read Den of Vipers, even though Den of Vipers is number 4 on this list. And you're actually probably gonna see it as number 4, not number 3, but... So I might have finished my reread of the Sweetest Oblivion in like less than 24 hours. I read until like 4 a.m. last night. It's a 5-star again. Second time I'm reading it, second time 5-star. Holy shit, this book. If you don't like mafia romances, that's not for you. But so she's a mafia princess for one family. He is the don of another mafia family. Her younger sister is supposed to marry him, but shit happens and she marries him instead. Something I like about this book is that they don't officially like are engaged until nearly half the book, and so they have the time to kind of crush on each other, flirt, lust, and try to get each other's attention before they're in an arranged marriage, which I really like. I do love forced proximity arranged marriage like the next person, okay? Like, it just, but the fact that they start crushing on each other and they're like, damn, before they're then like, oh yeah, like y'all are gonna get married, by the way. Fucking love it. I don't really have that much to say about this book, honestly, except that it's fucking amazing. I love it. Yeah. Now, the fourth book I gave a 5-star to this year was Den of Vipers by K.A. Knight. There's a lot of fucking flags because it was, in fact, the second time I was reading it, and also the second time I was giving it a 5-star. Now, Den of Vipers is about these 4 guys who basically run the town. And we have Ryder, Garrett, Kenzo, and Diesel. Diesel is the most unhinged bitch ever, and I love him. My favorite, by the way, my favorite guy in this one is Kenzo, with Ryder, who is a close second. So after Roxy's father failed to pay his debt, he, well, sells Roxy instead to the Vipers. We do have a dark mafia with Beauty and the Beast with 4 dudes with this. It is honestly, like, a lot of people give it low ratings because it is practically no plot, just smut. Honestly, I love that. I read this one March 13th to 16th. So, I'm about to start my read of Den of Vipers, as one does. But, like, I opened it, and at some point in my life, I was doing this little thing, and I think that was, like, the first time I read it. But, like, not like other girls, when you get over it, it's pretty fucking good. Love Kenzo so much, holy shit, and Daddy Ryder. And honestly, yeah, adding to that, unhinged Diesel and Garrett the teddy bear, and yeah, so ready to get back in it. And I love that this is how, like, the chapters are starting, like, for black page. And we also have, of course, my little smut tabs at the top here. I'm probably gonna sound weird or insane when I say this, but this bitch, it's actually one of my comfort books. Third time I'm gonna read it, and I'm so fucking excited to start the year with this bitch. I love how 2 pages in, you know exactly how each one of them is. Like, oh, Kenzo's rolling the dice between his fingers. He looks a lot like Ryder. Ryder's always in his nice crisp suit. Garrett, can't see him coming, is gonna fuck you up. And Diesel did say, blisters forming under his shirt from where Ryder let me have some fun. So, you know, you already know, like, the 4 dudes in 2 pages. And that's fucking amazing. They're my guys. Like, literally, end of page 2, start of page 3. Diesel's point of view. He knows what I am. Death. Ryder might be the face, Garrett might be the enforcer, the muscle, and Kenzo the dealer, but me, I'm the fucking Grim Reaper. Like, Diesel is such an unhinged fucker, and I love him. I swear, every time I reread this book, I fall for Diesel more than the time before. He is unhinged. He is crazy. There's something definitely wrong with him. But he's also kind of hot, you know? I just love him so much. So I'm going on YouTube for a music playlist, right? And I love that, like, most horrific book I've ever read. I read it so you don't have to. And I'm just here like, oh yeah, it's one of my favorite books, actually. So all of the other time I read it, I just like put, you know, little flags. But I decided this time, I'm annotating the shit out of it. I don't care. So there's one quote I love every time I read it, and it's on page 41. And it says, when you're a kid, they tell you stories of monsters hiding under your bed or in the dark. They don't tell you the very real human ones. Those who prey on people weaker than them, and even the monsters that hide within ourselves. Rich or poor doesn't matter. Humans are still a monster. They hide behind pretty-faced loved ones, blood. Yet they're all the same. They all want you for something. Difference is how far they're willing to go to get it. This, yeah. So the first time I read this book, my favorite was Kenzo all the way. Second time, Ryder. And like right now, for some fucking reason, I love Diesel so much. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's wrong, but I know I'm gonna love Ryder, like, also because Ryder is fucking amazing later on, but Diesel is so unhinged. I love him. Alright, so I just finished my third read of The Night Vipers. My copy is tabbed like there's no tomorrow. Basically, the first like yellow ones, like that first read I've done, then you can see my little rainbow going on. That was the second time I read it. And this time I have the blood red at the start, and at the end more yellow. Every time I've read this book, I've had a different favorite dude. First time I read it, Kenzo had my heart. Second time, Ryder. This time, am I going crazy? Or is Diesel the man? Like, not gonna lie, I love the others so much. But, fucking Diesel? Anyways, yeah. A lot of the time when people give us a bad rating, it's because it's like, oh, there's no plot, just smut, cover to cover. But also, oh, it's gonna sound so dumb, it's a story of finding love and finding family and finding yourself, with a lot of smut and mafia, of course. And I just really like it. This is still a 5 stars for me. It's a comfort read. But then we have rule number 5. So this book is about Sydney and Jax. Jax is a hockey player in college, and Sydney vowed to herself to never, ever, ever go for a hockey player. And she also has 5 rules for hooking up. Now, those rules are: 1, no kissing; 2, one night only; 3, no exchanging phone numbers; 4, no hockey players; and 5, no falling in love. Well, let's just say that Jax goes through that list and just, like, he just checks them all off one by one. So I read this book April 30th to May 1st. So I read book number 2 in this series, like in December, and we learned some background on Jax and why he is the way he is. So I'm hoping it's gonna make me like this book like even more now that I know more about him going in. I just love how Sydney and Jax interact together. They're just so sweet. So I totally forgot how much I love Sydney and Jax's relationship. I love them so fucking much. So I just finished my read of rule number 5. It's a 5-star again. Oh my fuck, I love them so much. And like at some point, you know, Jax does tell her that before he was with her, he was, you know, going through a dark time. And like you're like, okay, yeah, like he's going through a dark time. His childhood best friend died when they were teens. Thing is, when you read the second book, which is Piper and Lucas's story, you know a little bit more about Jax and how he was slowly going into alcoholism before he got with Sydney. And, you know, you get the outsider's perspective, because not only book 1 and 2 are happening at the same time, but also book 3, which is Mia with Alex and River, which I haven't read yet. But, you know, they're all happening at the same time. So it's nice to have, like, multiple point of view of the same situations happening. Like, in this, you see, like, Piper and Lucas's story going on, as well as Mia, Alex, and Rivers going on. And in the second one, you have more background on Jax, because Lucas is Jax's childhood best friend. As well as Piper, who's also, like, known him since childhood. So I think I enjoyed Jax's character even more the second time around since I read the second book. Anyways, it's a 5-star, second time I've read it. Now, the 6th book I gave a 5-star to this year is Osanken by MP Boba. This is a Quebec book. It's very small, very sweet. Fucking loved it. So this is about 5 people who are all in a polyamorous relationship in one way or another, who live in an apartment together. We have, and they're all like LGBT. They're all very fucking gay. We have Alice, Gail, Camille, Simon, and Ilwa. And we have bi/pan representation, we have lesbian representation, we have trans representation, and also, of course, polyam relationship. And this is just like a slice of life, and some are written like, you know, as a book. And then we have this one, which is written more like a play, and we have point of view from all of them. And they're just going through life together, and it's very sweet, and I like it. But also, I did cry in the last chapter of this, but I really liked it. At the start, I gave it like 3.5, and I was like, whatever, but then I couldn't stop thinking about it. So, and the more I thought about it, the more I loved it. So, 5-star. I read this one from July 4th to 5th. Reading this for the second time, I haven't read the ending that made me cry. Ilwa, for fuck's sake, stop saying the word temporary. I know you think it's temporary, but there's a lot of love. I forgot how they called their polycule the family of the 5th, because they're on the 5th floor. Oh, okay, I'm nearly about to cry. And I'm 20 pages in. I just love seeing everyone like go and try to understand what they feel about Ilwa, because like they all have different feelings, especially Simon and, well, Alice also, but mostly Simon. And he's just like, what's going on? Am I jealous? Do I like him? Do I hate him? And Alice is like, why do I feel like I want to try again with him? And Gail and Kemi are like, he's nice, you know? Well, Gail's like, he's cute. Kemi's like, he's chill. He plays like video games with me. And seeing the whole relationship of the family slowly change by adding a 5th person in, it's super interesting. I like it. I just love seeing everyone like go and try to understand what they feel about Eloa, because like they all have different feelings, especially Simon. If I actually stop to think about it, it is in fact 4.5. I just love that right here we have Kamei saying, I don't only have one support system, I have 4. Just talking about the family and just the 4 of them helping her in life. It's just very fucking sweet. So I just finished my reread. It's still super good, but I think I'm gonna give it a 4-star. Watch me do like last time where I was thinking I was giving it a 3-star and then couldn't stop thinking about it and gave it a 5. But I think it's gonna be a 4-star for me this time. When I read it the first time, it hit more. For some reason, I don't know with where I was in life, because it was like less than a year ago. So I don't know why it hit more the first time I read it, but it did. I didn't cry. Nearly did. It's a thing. It was very sweet. I really liked it. So either 4 or 4.5. It's not a 5 this time, that's for sure. If I actually stop to think about it, it is in fact 4.5. Now, the 6th book I gave a 5-star to this year is Bucking Around. It is, it has been through a lot. It has been thrown in my bag. I'm not even sorry for it, honestly, because I fucking love this book. This book is about Rachel, who 2 months ago had the best hookup of her life, but not only for the hooking up, but for the person and the spark and everything. And the thing is, she thinks she'll never see him again. Well, until she becomes a doctor for an NHL team. The man she hooked up with, motherfucking Jake Colton. Fucking hell, I love Jake, but he's not my favorite. This is a reverse harem. Hockey player reverse harem. With Jake, which is a defenseman, with Ilmari, who is the goalie, and Caleb, who is the equipment dude. Now, their relationship is the sweetest thing ever. We have some LGBT representation and some, you know, discovering about yourself. I can stop thinking about this book even months after reading it. Like, I read it July 13th to 17th. So I just started my reread of Bucking Around, and I'm already like 100 pages in. I forgot how much it just grips you, and it's like, you're mine now. Yeah. We didn't see much of Ilmari yet, but you know, I know it's coming up. We've seen some of Caleb and Jake, and I love these men so much. But I can't wait to have more of Ilmari because he is my favorite. That Viking of a man, I love him. So, yeah. I always forget how much I fucking love this book. I just can't wait to see more of Ilmari because he's my favorite. But, like, Lucky Charm. Also gonna talk about the nightclub. Anyways, I fucking love this book, but yeah, I can't wait to have more of Ilmari. In this book, there's 3 different types of relationships happening. We have Jake and Rachel, who are knowing each other from a one-night stand 4 months ago. We have Caleb and Rachel, which is instant love. And then we have with Ilmari, which is a slow burn. But in his chapters, you can see he trusts her so much, even though he doesn't want to. And it's just, he's my baby. He's built like a Viking. He's called the bear. I don't care. He's my baby. Actually, I lied. There's 4 kinds of relationship in there. The 4th one is between Jake and Caleb, who have been friends forever. And Caleb has been pining for Jake forever. Okay, well, not forever. Since he discovered he was bi. And we also have the bi-awakening of Jake in the book with, like, holy shit, like, he also likes Caleb. I forgot to mention that. So Mary opening up and just being his true self and being into this little family, and I love him so much. Also, we see Omari a lot in book 2 because he works closely with Tess on the Sea Turtle organization, and he's just the sweetest. I fucking love him. Everyone thinks he's this big, mean man, doesn't give a shit about other people, but he's fucking amazing. I just finished my reread of Bucking Around, and honestly, I just love this book so much. What would have made it better if we had the wedding ceremony in book 1 instead of having it like at the start of book 2 instead? Because we see the wedding, you know, we see Rachel saying like, oh, like, if you can do this, I'm marrying y'all tonight at the end of the book. And you don't have the wedding ceremony in book 1. You do have it in book 2. It's literally the start of book 2, just like the wedding ceremony, because Tess and Langley meet up again at the wedding ceremony, and like that's like the start of their story. So, of course, it would have been fucking amazing to have their wedding from their perspectives. Besides that, fucking amazing book. Gave it a 5-star again. These characters have my heart forever. I just love it so much. I love all of the characters. I love all the kinds of relationships the characters have. I love that we have some backstory. I just love everything about this book. So I haven't read That One Night, which is the novella of basically the night between Rachel and Jake. I haven't read Pucking Ever After nor Pucking Ever After 2, which are volume 1.5 and 2.5, which are, I'm pretty sure, about Rachel and her guys. I know Pucking Ever After 1 is about Rachel and the guys, and I think Pucking Ever After 2 is also about the Price family, but also a little bit of Tess and Langley. And I do want to read them, but I'm moving soon, so I need money for that. But I'm definitely going to read them at some point. I just love this book and these characters so much. Now, the 8th book I gave a 5-star to. You're going to see the 4 book from this author, one after the other. Lily Gold, one of my favorite authors. 5-star to 3 Swedish Mountain Men, which I read from July 28th and 29th. So this is about Daisy, who takes a trip to Sweden after shit happens in her hometown. Well, she gets into a car accident right before a storm. And who finds her besides Eli and Cole, who are, it's just Cole and Eli, who are a very flirty ski instructor and a ranger who, like, honestly, once you get through to his heart, you're in there forever. Let me tell you. And, well, since she just got in a car accident and a storm is rolling in, they take her to their place where they live with Riven, which is right here, who is a doctor. So he checks her over and then boom, storm. But also, her car's fucking KO'd from the accident. So she needs to live with them until the storm has passed and until her car is okay, and I'll just relay them. Honestly, Eli has my heart. I would do anything for that man. Now, the 8th book I gave a 5-star to. You're gonna see the 4 book from this author, one after the other. Lily Gold, one of my favorite authors. 5-star to 3 Swedish Mountain Men, which I read from July 28th and 29th. So this is about Daisy. Also unrelated, but I love the covers on her books and how they all match. Like, they all have flowers and the 3 dude and the girl on it in cartoon. Well, this version of the covers, fucking love it. Also, the first line of this book is, "I swear to God, the moose appears out of thin air." So, you know. I honestly could read all of her books, like a book in one sitting with her. I didn't last night because I needed to sleep, but it's so fucking good. They're some of my comfort books, so like, oh, I'm so fucking happy. Also, something I like about her books is that there's depth to the characters. You know, like in this one, well, Daisy has a secret, and because shit happened in her hometown, but like the dudes also have backgrounds, and it's just, all of Lily Gold's book are like that. It's more than just like, oh, met the dude, we fuck, teehee, that's it. Which I think is also why I loved Pucking Around so much, because they have character depth. I mean, Den of Vipers, they don't really do, but it's one of my comfort book and one of my favorite books. Like, my phone background is about the Den of Viper dudes. But yeah, I really like the character depth that we get in Lily Gold's books. He's about to fuck her in the ass and he just goes, "Lube," and another of the dude go, "I know you're a bit of a caveman, but that was the weirdest one-word sentence you've ever said." And then just goes, "Does anyone have any?" And like, I think I have some.
Wait, what did he say?
Just lube. Cause
That's not what I heard.
he's fingering her
I
ass.
heard noob. I was like, what the hell?
Cause he's fingering her ass, and he's like, "Well, if I want to put my dick in there, you know, I need some lube." So he just goes, "Lube," and the other goes, "I know you're a bit of a caveman, but that has to be the weirdest one-word sentence you've ever said." Lube.
Noob. Moi, je pensais que genre, le gars était en train de la fuck dans le cul, puis l'autre gars était comme noob. Moi, c'était ça, j'avais entendu, j'étais comme, what the hell are you reading, my guy?
If you think that I'm sharing my extra tingly, heating, cherry-flavored, super glide, female-stimulating lubricant, you have another thing coming. You're willing to share a woman, but not your lube? I own the lube. I don't own the woman. And Riven, who's a fucking doctor, goes, "I have plenty of medical-grade lubricant in my kits." And she just goes, "As unbelievably hot as that sound, I have some in my bag if you want." And they're like, "The fuck you mean you have some lube when you came up here?" And another one of the guys goes, "Is it cherry flavor?" And she goes, "Nope." And he goes, "Thank God I still have something to offer in this relationship."
Fair.
I mean, he got cherry flavored lube, you know? No, it's extra tingly, heating, cherry flavored, super light, female stimulating lubricant. Very fancy. I just finished this book, and y'all, Lily Gold's writing and her books, they never fail. It's just, I love it so fucking much. All of these characters, they're flawed, but they love each other, and it's fucking sweet. So in this book, we have Daisy, who after a big thing, it happens in her hometown, decides to flee to Sweden to get away from everything. When she gets there, she nearly hits a moose with her car, but ends up like in a tree and her car is totaled. Storm is rolling in, so two dudes who happen to cross tows her car and bring her to their place because their third roommate is a doctor. And also, there's a storm. They won't have time to bring her back to the city and then go back to their cabin, so they just take her with them. And they are basically like forced proximity, stuck in this cabin together for a couple of days. They start developing feelings, but she has this huge secret, and then the more it goes on, the more all of them fall, and it's not the first time that they would be in a relationship, all three of them with the same girl. And yeah, they all fall for each other, and they're complex characters, but they're also very fucking sweet. And honestly, I'm probably gonna say the same fucking thing about every Lily Gold book on this TBR. I just love it so fucking much. Yeah. Ninth book I gave a 5-star to this year was, again, Lily Gold, because I read all of her book one after the other, and they're all 5 stars for me. This is Triple Duty Bodyguard. It's the one I like a little less in, like, by her, but it's still a 5-star. So this is about Briar, who is a actress, and after her stalker is able to break into her house, she changes her security team 100%. Her security detail now consists of Glenn, Kenta, and Matt, who are ex-military, and, you know, they're with her 24/7. We have some forced proximity. We have a reverse harem. We have a lot of love. I read this one from July 30th to 31st. And something I like is that we have some chapters that are from the stalker's point of view. Like chapter 44X. And honestly, it adds a little bit of, it adds something to this book, you know? So in the book, our main character Briar has a stalker, and something I love about that book is that you have chapters of the stalker's point of view, and I really like that. I don't think I've read any other book that has that in it. Lily Gold's like sense of humor gets me. It's like Ali Hazelwood. Like Ali Hazelwood and Lily Gold are my favorite author, and not only because the romance and the smut, but also like the fucking humor they have, and I love this. Like, Kenta and Briar are about to fuck, and Glenn just goes, "Oh, can I give you a tip?" And then, like, I don't know if it's Kenta or Briar, but I think it's Briar. I'm not sure. One of them just answers, "I know what always goes in. Fangs." Like, why is this fucking funny to me? Like, I just love Lily Gold. Something I like about this one, compared to like the other Lily Gold's book, is that Briar is such a sassy bitch that like the things she say back to them make me crack up. Like, I already love Lily Gold's humor, and this is like my least favorite of her books. But Briar's sass, I think, is the reason why I always give this one a 5-star instead of 4.5, because it would be a 4.5 if she wasn't so fucking funny to me, you know? I need to read you off a couple of quotes. So basically, what just happened is that Matt had a nightmare, because, you know, PTSD from the military, because, yeah. And she goes, "Can I have a hug?" What? A hug? I know you've been given many in your life, but I'm sure you've heard the concept. I want one. Like, she's trying to comfort him, but he doesn't want her to, like, do something. So she's like, "Oh yeah, I need a hug." And then she goes, don't apologize, you other fucking dipshit. Thought you were supposed to be a bitch. Oh, I am. Nice person wouldn't have called you a dipshit, would they? Oh yeah, she also says, we have matching unhealthy coping mechanism. How adorable is that? I just love that. The push and pull between Briar and Matt. I fucking love this. So I'm poly, and being poly, something I believe a lot is that one person cannot give you everything you need in a relationship. Some people get that with like having a partner and friends. Other people do it with multiple partners. And something I love in this book is that Briar literally like says exactly that. Just like, I get different things from each man. Comfort and gentleness from Glenn. Fight and strength from Matt. But from Kenta, I get steadiness, calm, and support. And it's just... I love it. So I just finished her Bodyguard, and obviously I fucking loved it. So in this book we have our main character, Briar. She is a very famous actress, and she has a stalker. Now the book opens up at her residence, at her home, where her stalker broke in through her window, jacked off above her, came on her bed, took a Polaroid of her, left her a little note, and went away. And her current security guard was, let's just say, not great in that situation. That's an understatement. He didn't even know like something had happened. So she goes and employs those three men. So we have Kenta, Glenn, and Matt. They are ex-SAS soldiers and who are now security guards. And we go through them falling for each other, but we also go through, you know, her having a stalker. And yeah, we do get some stalker psychology in there because Kenta, like, at some point explains to Briar the stalker psychology. Now, we're like, I'm someone who loved Criminal Mind and who wanted to be a criminal psychologist at some point. So even though I am in a artsy field, I still love that, you know? And something I really like, I think I mentioned it in the vlog, is that we, if I can find it, well, I can't find it, but we have some chapters in the stalker's point of view, which I really enjoyed. I don't like stalkers, and it's not a dark romance, you know, so we don't like the stalker, but I like that we had this point of view. Now, they are so sweet. I love these men, but honestly, I don't know who's my favorite. I think Kenta has to be my favorite. Sweetheart, baby, love him. But yeah, very great book. Tenth book I gave a 5-star to this year is Nanny For The Neighbor, again by Miss Lily Gold. I read this one from July 31st to August 1st. And this one is Beth, who is a nanny without a job at the moment. She's looking for a job. She's trying her damn best, okay? And she's also had a huge crush on her 3 upstairs neighbors since she moved there. The 3 neighbors being, Jack, Cyrus, and Sebastian, who one day gets a baby dropped off on their porch with a note attached to it that says, "To the boy in apartment 5A, congratulations, you have a kid." They do not know which of them is the bio dad. They just know that it's their kid, and they have no idea what to do with a baby. They don't know, like, anything about it. So, of course, they ask Beth to teach them. And, of course, they all fall in love, you know? If I didn't have to, like, eat or sleep or work or whatever, I would be reading these in one sitting. Honestly, just last night I got to 98 and I didn't want to put it down. I just love Lily Gold's books so fucking much, and I just... yeah. Wow, okay. Trust Lady Gold to pull me out of a reading slump. For this, I was reading Anna Wong's King of Sloth, which I love Anna Wong so much, don't get me wrong. But I was kind of in a slump. Picking this up, read it in 3 days, loved it, as usual. 5-star, as usual. I just love it so much. Like, yes, it's reverse harem, but they all have personalities, they all have backstories. It's a found family. It's just the sweetest thing. There is like so much going on in it, honestly. There is a lot of different family relationships. So the relationship they all have together, the relationship they have with Camilla, which is the baby, the relationship they have with Camilla's mom, the relationship the boys have with their parents, the relationship she has about family in general, because she grew up in care. It's just, I love this shit so much. I can't recommend Lily Gold enough. I love this. So, the 11th book I gave a 5-star to this year was Faking by Benefit, again by Lily Gold. It's my favorite in all of her books, if I'm completely honest, even though like all of them are 5 stars for me. I read this one from August 1st to August 3rd, and it was, all of her books were like, it was my second time reading them, and I fucking loved them. So in this one we have Layla, who has never had any luck in love and dating. And we also have Zach, Josh, and Luke, who are her neighbors slash friends, who have a podcast about dating. Now, she goes on their podcast as a little like dating lesson segment, and let's just say they all fall in love with each other, and it's just very sweet and I really like it. Faking with Benefit, it's probably my favorite Lily Gold book, so I'm so excited to reread this. First time I read this book, I read it in like 12 hours. Only reason I took breaks was because I had to eat, and like I had a nail appointment I think that day, and dinner with my mom, but like I just love this book so much. Something I love about, I'm not sure if it's another Lily Gold book, but for this one in particular, we get to see the characters from the other books. For example, I'm on page 34, and there's a question from Beth from Nanny For The Neighbor, and then if I go somewhere around here, on 275, we have a message from Eli and Daisy that are from 3 Swedish Mountain Men. And I know that at some point we have a tweet from Briar from Triple Duty Bodyguard in here, so I just fucking love this. I just finished my reread of Faking with Benefits, and honestly, as usual, fucking perfect. So like, it's in my top 3 favorite books. Like, we have Love Hypothesis, we have Den of Vipers, and then we have Faking with Benefits, and it's just so fucking amazing. Every single time I love it. There's so many emotions, and it's like quite deep. Like, they talk about bullying, they talk about slut shaming, group relationships, of course, jealousy, grieving. It's just a whole lot, and I just love it so much. Now, the 12th book I gave a 5-star to this year was The Soulmate Equation by Christina Lauren. I read this one from August 26th to 27th, and I loved it. So, Jessica has a daughter, and since her daughter's father, she never went back into dating. Until her best friend convinces her to try this new dating app service, that uses DNA to match people together. Now this is called Genetically. And, well, she gets a 98% match with someone, which usually is 70% is like good. You know, it's very good 70%, so she gets 98. Well, who is that man, you might ask? It is Dr. River Pena, who works on Genetically. Because they got a 98, the app wants them to meet and actually go on dates so they can have some good publicity. And of course, they start falling for each other. So I know it's a good book, but I can't seem to get into it because I have like a reading slump coming in. So hopefully I'll get into it. I need to say it right now, like in this book, I love Juno and Fizzy. They're just fucking amazing, which is why I'm happy like there's a second book that came out not long ago, which is Fizzy's story. I don't have it yet because the only times I found it was in French, and like I've read the first one in English, so I want to read the second one in English. And I really like them, and I'm at the point where like River and Jess are starting to actually like open up to each other and start like actually liking each other, and like knowing that it's not just the 98% talking, but like they actually like each other. So yeah. So I just finished my reread of The Soulmate Equation. I gave it a 4-star this time. I really like every character and every relationship in this, but I don't have like the butterflies and the wow I did the first time I read it, but still pretty sweet. The 13th book I gave a 5-star to this year was The Fiancée Farce by Alexandra Bellefleur. So The Fiancée Farce is about Tansy, who doesn't really date, but to get out of family engagements, family like dinners and whatever, she pretends to have a girlfriend and says that her girlfriend's name is Gemma. Now, one of her family members see a picture of Gemma Van Dalen on her phone, who is a model. The family member who sees this in her head just rolls with it and it's like, oh, that's her girlfriend, without even really asking. Now, at the wedding of one of her cousins, I think it is, she's at the wedding and Gemma Van Dalen walks in. Now, Gemma proposes her something. She's like, I know you've been saying we've been dating for about 6 months. I need to get married to get my inheritance. So, fake dating, get engaged, get married, boom. We'll only stay married for, let's say, 2 to 3 years, and then we can just divorce, go on our merry way. And of course, they fall in love. I read this one from August 28th to 30th. It's gonna feel so good to read a sapphic romance again. It's been a while. So I'm at the point where Gemma is slowly but surely, well, maybe not slowly, it hits her like a fucking train, realizing that she actually likes Tansy, and she is freaking the fuck out. So it's not as good as I remember, but it's still very sweet and funny, so yeah. My dumbass put it in my purse without a book sleeve, and this is why I always have a book sleeve. Alright, so I just finished Fiancée Farce. Don't mind my voice. My sinuses are blocked because of allergies right now. But I ended up giving it a 4.5 out of 5. I really liked the relationship and everything, but I've been in kind of a reading slump, and I picked up like another one of my 5 stars to try to boost it and be better, but it didn't. But it was still a pretty good book, so 4.5. I really like fake dating and marriage of convenience, and this has kind of both, so that was very nice. Also really love Gemma's friends, especially Teddy. He's the best. I don't really know what to say about it. It's like, it was good, it was great. It was not amazing, but it was great. The 14th book I gave a 5-star to this year, my reread, was September 3rd to 4th. My favorite book, The Love Hypothesis. There's a lot of fucking, you know, because I've read it 3 times in the past. This book is about Olive. So Olive is a PhD student and is trying to convince her best friend that it's okay for her best friend to date her ex because she doesn't really care. So, to do it, she tells her best friend, like, yeah, I actually have a date on X day. So, you know, I'm totally over him. Well, that day comes and she's in the lab. And her best friend walks by. So, what does Olive do? She grabs the first person she sees and kisses them. The thing is, the first person she sees is Adam Carlson, who is a professor there. And he is the grumpy professor that everyone say he's an ass. And well, she just kissed him. So, they start this fake dating ploy, and they end up falling for each other, and I love this book so much. I just love when you ask, like, did you just kiss me? And she goes, nope. It's like, okay. Are you sure? And then he just says, I'll go back to my office and begin to work on my Title IX. Yeah, that would be great since, wait, what? And the fact that he threatens the Title IX, like the whole fucking book. I love this. So it's one of my favorite books. So I do have like little transparent sticky notes with like little things written on them. I turned the page and like, that's what it is there. Like, if you know, you know. But the fact that I turned the page is just, fuck you, Tom, on page 20. I love myself sometimes. We hate Tom Benson in this household. Every time I read this book, I'm just giggling, kicking my feet, so fucking happy. I love this shit so much. I am, in fact, living, laughing, and loving right now. This is what reading with a needy cat is like. He's just like cuddling with me. Oh, okay, it's scratch time apparently. I just finished my reread of The Love Hypothesis and just... So it's one of my 2 favorite books for a reason. I just love everything about it. I love Olive's relationship with, you know, Adam, but also with Anne and Malcolm. I love the fake dating. I love the grumpy sunshine. I love the banter. I love the pining. I just love everything about it. Also, something is that there is demisexuality rep. I am personally a demisexual. Demisexuality is on the asexuality spectrum. And, you know, asexuality is you don't feel sexual attraction. Demisexuality is you can't feel sexual attraction unless there's a big emotional bond and trust going on, which is what Olive is expressing. And we don't have a lot of demisexuality rep anywhere, so yay for that. Yeah, it was a 5-star for me again, so let's go to the next book. The 15th book I gave a 5-star to this year is Reckless Heart by Brighton Walsh. This is the Starlight Cove series, book 4. I didn't read the others, but honestly, you don't need to. Because each sibling has a different book with their relationship. So Avery's gone by Starlight Cove to see her best friend. While she's there, she has an amazing one-night stand. Well, turns out that one-night stand is her best friend's brother, who will also become her boss while she's in Starlight Cove, because she will, in fact, start working at the family's hotel. I don't want to say more than that, because honestly, that's all I knew going in. And also, it's very fucking hot. Honestly, it's fucking hot. Yeah, very good book. I read that one September 24th to 25th. I am so happy on this Crete special edition cover, because the regular cover is just a man. And also, look at the start of the chapters. They're just so fucking pretty. Anyways, we're about to start it. Ooh. I just love wearing this shirt while reading this book, because this is basically the shirt she wears when they first fucking meet at the end of chapter 1. I think one thing I don't like about this book is the names. Like, her name is Avery, his is Aiden. Aiden's sister's who's also her best friend, is Addison. There's so many A names, and for what? The fucking smut in this book is just fucking amazing. And like, I'm just on page 41. How to tell you this book is so good without telling you this book is so good? I read 200 pages in one sitting. That is 56% of this fucking book. It's so fucking good. Alright, so I just finished my reread of Reckless Heart, and I gave it a 4.5 this time. It is so steamy, and the spice is so good, y'all. I can't. They are also very sweet, but it's not like the romance I would go for now. It's not really rom-com, it's just like, it's an erotica book, okay? I think I really liked the romance part of it the first time I read it. And like, the secret of like Aiden being an author and everything. But I think this time, like with the amount of rom-coms I read, this is not reading rom-com enough for me this time, but it's still like fucking amazing, you know? So yeah. Now, from September 26th to October 2nd, I reread my favorite series, which is the Cruel Prince series. Of course, I gave all of them a 5-star. So this would be number 16 to 18 of my 5 stars. If you don't know, The Cruel Prince is about Jude, who is a human who is in the Fae world. All she wants is to become a knight and be seen as other Faes. Our other character is motherfucking Carden. Carden is a 17-year-old Fae prince who thinks he can do whatever the fuck he wants, since he is so far in the line of to the throne. Well, Jude and Carden do start falling for each other and definitely crush. The thing I like about this series, it's a very political series with a romance subplot, and it's enemies to lovers. You know, she tries to kill him multiple times. I'm so excited because I know that these are gonna feel just like coming home. Also, I say it every fucking time, but look at just how pretty this shit is, okay? Like, this is just a regular hardback edition, but have the map, and then oh, it's so fucking beautiful. And then when we go to the chapter headers, and in the corner here, the little acorn, and then I need to find a middle of the page banner thing. Wait a second. And look at this, and each book are different. And I also own some overlays. I have 2 in the first book, 2 in the second, and 1 in the third. I don't remember who I bought them from. I'm pretty sure it was a pre-order from the artist's website. I do not remember at all, but look at that. I'm going to show you the others right now. Give me a second. This is book 2, and when we open again, we get the map, beautiful book separations, and then the chapter header. We have a little potion at the top, and then give me a second. Look at this, it's so fucking beautiful. Now let's go to my overlays because oh, I love it. So here I have this one of Cardin and the matching one of Jude right there. They're so fucking beautiful. I cannot. And then for book 3, when we open it again, we have the map, whatever. Look at this. It's so fucking beautiful, and a little crown in the corner. And again, I need to, give me a second, okay? I need to find the thing. And in this one, we have the little stars. And we also have an overlay. And I love this one because it's at, like, I've put it at the scene where it, it happens. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, Cruel Prince is actually my favorite series, and like these overlay are not the only thing I own, okay? Like, give me a second, I'm gonna show you my little shrine spot for it. So I have this favorites shelf in my living room, and this is all my Cruel Prince things. So we have the Cruel Prince, King of Elfman, Learn Trade Story, Stolen Heir, Prisoner's Throne, and then we have my candles. I have a little keychain, and these are French special editions. They have sprayed edges with this beautiful front. I don't have the third one. I don't even know if it's out, but I also have my little bookmarks, and just look at that shit. So I'm not aware where my overlays are, and let me just show you something, okay? He kind of like jump scared me. Like, I was just reading, and I have my little note that says baby because it's talking about the bomb and I love her, and I just turned the page, okay, and it's just like, well, hello. The amount of foreshadowing in this book when you know what's gonna happen. Like, I'm like only 50 pages in, and holy shit. So I'm most of the way through the book, but something that the cat will do is just sit on my lap, and he just falls asleep to me talking, so I will just go and read him the book I'm reading, and he's just so happy with it. I just love these books so much. Like, holy shit, this is going back home. This feels like a safe space, and I'm definitely gonna be rereading How the King of Elfame Learned to Hate Stories, and then the 2 books in Oaks series, because I just need it. Even though, like, I'm not even done with the first book right now, but I need it. Just finished book 1, and like, I know I love this series, but I always forget how much until I'm rereading it. Like, this is of course a 5-star. I love everything about that. I'm so excited to read like book 2 and then book 3 again, and then reread How the King of Elfame Learned to Hate Story, which I've only read once, like 2 years ago, and then read the second like part of this series, like Oak's story. I'm so excited. Cardin's backstory hurt every single time. Like, someone give that boy a hug. He needs a hug. He needs love and affection. So I just finished my reread of The Wicked King, and the last couple times I read the like series, I was like, oh, this is my least favorite. But for some reason this time I loved it so fucking much. The first book is still my favorite, don't get me wrong. But it was like 1, 3, 2, and now I think it's just gonna be 1, 2, 3. I'll keep you updated after I finish rereading the third one, but also, like, there's so many scenes I love in this. First of all, the kiss me until I'm sick of it. The is this how I ought to seduce her? The marriage. There's 2 marriages in this book, but I'm pretty sure you know which one I'm talking about. Anyways, I love this series so much. Fun fact, I hate Taryn in, like, everywhere, all the time. Fucking hate her. Except for when we first see her again in the 3rd book. Because, like, you go, girl. Like, I get you. But besides that, I fucking hate her. I've said it before, but fuck. Cardan backstory hurts so fucking much. I literally just read the first half of this fucking book in one sitting. Knowing that the first half of this book is my least favorite part of the book. I know for sure the second part is gonna go hard. The first half of this book, I like it less. But like with my reread of Wicked King, I just loved Wicked King so much more than usual. So I don't know if the second half is gonna hit as much as it usually does, but alright, so I just finished my reread and I shocked myself actually giving it a 4.5 out of 5. Which I feel is weird because it's my favorite series. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, it's my favorite fucking series. But I don't know, like, it didn't hit like the first 2 did and like it did in the past. But still, I really liked it. This fucking series bring me joy and comfort, and it feels like home every time I read it. So I was really, really happy to get to actually reread that. Also, this reread was already making me excited to reread How the King of Ultimate Learned to Hate Stories, and then read Stolen Heir and the other book in that duology. But with the end of Queen of Nothing, I am so much more excited to jump into Oak and Surin's story. And I'm also very excited to see Jude and Cardan from someone else's point of view. Because, like, they are cunning. They are not nice people. So to see them from Oak's point of view, that's gonna be nice. Number 19 of the 5-star is this one right here. This is My Roommate Is A Vampire by Jenna Levine. I read this October 25th to 26th, and it is so sweet. Honestly, it is a vampire rom-com. Do I need to say more? This is just fucking amazing. So this is about Cassie, who needs to move out of her apartment ASAP. And she finds a room to rent in this beautiful apartment for a very cheap price. She goes to visit the apartment, she meets her roommate, everything looks pretty good to her, so she moves in. The thing is, Frederick Fitzwilliam is kind of weird. But she just goes, whatever, like, he's not trying to kill me, and it's a very good, like, price for rent. And, well, they do start falling for each other, and it's very sweet, and I'm a rom-com girly at heart, honestly. Something I like, it's that it is, like, in Cassie's point of view, but at the start of each chapter, we have something in Frederick's, like, point of view. So this is a to-do list, we have emails, we have text messages, just a little bit insight for him, and I really liked it. Alright, so I'm 130 pages in, and Cassie just learned that Frederick is a fucking vampire, and it's something. But also, like, they're slowly falling for each other without realizing it, and it's just, I love it. I gave it a 5-star this time again. It's just so sweet. Like, I love rom-coms, and just the fact that Frederick wants a human to help him navigate the 21st century mixed in with the rom-com and the roommates is just fucking amazing. And I also really like Cassie's best friend Sam. He is a sweetheart. He just wants what's best for her. And like, there's a little plot twisty thing like in the last 50 pages. Like, I didn't remember it happened, and it surprised me again. And yeah, another 5-star this time. Quite good. Now, the last 5-star I gave this year, number 20, another Ali Hazelwood book. This is Check and Mate by Ali Hazelwood. I read this November 13th to 16th, and it was just everything I needed and more. So this is about Mallory, who used to play chess as a kid, but swore to never play it again. Well, one day, she is on her best friend's team to play at a charity event. She's like, okay, for my best friend, that's it, never touching chess again. At that charity event, she wipes the floor with Nolan Sawyer, who is the #1 chess player in the world. Not gonna lie, from that moment on, Nolan has a little crush on her. He's just like, oh yeah, that girl, nice. And after, wiping the floor with the #1 chess player, she gets a job, a very well-paying job, to, be in the chess world. It's like, okay, but it's only a job. She keeps lying to herself. We love that about her. We love being delusional in this house. And, well, with that job, Nolan and Mallory keep meeting and falling for each other. And just really, really liked it. I love how Mallory beats Nolan once, and that's all it takes for him to be fucking obsessed with her. This one line is just so sweet. His eyes scan every room he enters, quiet only when they settle on me. It's just so cute. They're just too cute. Like, I don't understand why you're in my head. You're in mine too, but I know why. What do you want from me? I want everything. I'm all in. Like... Alright, so I just finished my reread of Check and Mate. And even though it was a 5-star the first time I read it, it was a 4.5 this time. It's a super cute story. And it's just very sweet. And it's just very cute. And I really like their relationships. And I want to take a moment to say that every single, side characters in Ali Hazelwood books, I fucking love them. So in Love Theoretically, we have Millicent and Cece, and in this one we have Emil and Tanu, and Daphne and Oz. I fucking love Oz. And Love Hypothesis, we have Anne and Malcolm, and I just love the side characters so much. Yeah, this book is just young love, discovering yourself, discovering your passion. It's just very sweet. Alright, so we're back in front of the Christmas tree. No makeup on, but I know how I said there was 20 books in this video. There's gonna be 21, because on December 20th, I read a whole book in a day, and I rated it 5-star. That book is Madam by Sarah Kate. It is the last book in the Soulmate Players Club series. I loved this series, but this one, definitely my favorite out of this whole series. So the series is about a BDSM club, and each book follows someone related to that club. So the first 4 books are about the 4 owners. The 5th book is about one of the biggest investors, and the 6th is about Madam Kink. She is a dominatrix, and she's been there since the opening of the club. So, as a professional dom, she didn't let herself fall in love with clients until 6 months ago, I believe, where she stopped a client relationship because they were both falling for each other. Now, he is in a relationship with a girl, and she learns that he was her client and wants to learn how to be a dom. So she goes to her. Well, let's just say that Eden, Madam Kink, falls for both Jade, who is her client's new girlfriend, and Clay, who is the client. And they are also the only two that know her secret in her life besides her best friend, which is that she's actually a mother and she would do anything to protect her child. And they end up in a poly relationship. I really liked it, honestly. It was just fucking amazing. I liked this whole series. You don't need to read the others in the series before you read this one, even though it would help. For example, we talk about a bro named Cade a lot because he's her best friend. He's also the main character in book 5. Then she talks to Emerson, who is one of the owners, and he's the main character in book 1. We talk about Mia, who is one of the owner's girlfriend, and she does a lot of shows in the voyeur hallway. And if you don't know her, like, you don't have to know her, but they talk about her a lot. And she's the main character in book 2, I believe. At some point, she goes and talks to Drake and Hunter, who are in a poly relationship with Isabel, who are the 3 main characters in book 3. And, like, she asked them questions about being in a poly relationship. So, like, if you know the other characters, great. If you don't, it's not too bad. I really liked it. I'm gonna add it to the TBR. I don't really know what to say about this book because, like, it's good. I'm enjoying it. I'm more than halfway through in, like, one day. But I don't know why I rated it a 5-star. I do really like the relationship between the characters. But when, I don't know, maybe with, like, the second half, I'm gonna be like, that's when the relationship will start to pick up. I know that, so that's probably where the 5-star comes from. Because right now it's, like, at a 3.5/4 stars. Something I'm really liking is that we have little snippets of the past between Eden and Clay. And it makes me, like, it makes a reader understand their relationship so much better. Alright, so I just finished reading Madam for the second time, and I ended up giving it a 4-star. I don't know what to say. It doesn't hit like it did the first time I read, like nearly a year ago. Now, the spice is good, but it's not wow. Especially after, like, reading the book I just read, Reckless Heart. It's just, it didn't hit as much. The relationship doesn't really become a relationship until halfway through the book, even though there's all this love and pining, and I kind of was like, just get on with it. Besides that, we do talk a lot about trauma, like mostly family and relationship trauma for the 3 of them, and accepting themselves and becoming better people. But besides that, there's not much more I could say. It was good, but it was not like wow like the first time I read it. So yeah, 4-star for this one. Here we are, a full year after I filmed that intro. We are in a different apartment. It's nearly 2025, and I've just finished rereading all of my 5 stars of 2023. It is fucking crazy to me. I really like that this vlog let me reread my 3 favorite books, which are The Love Hypothesis, Den of Vipers, and Faking Benefits. Reread all the books from my favorite author, which is Lily Gold. So Faking with Benefit, Nanny For The Neighbor, 3 Swedish Mountain Men, and Triple Duty Bodyguard. And this vlog also let me reread my favorite series, which is, well, the first 3 books of the Folk of the Air series. Because at this point where I'm filming this outro, I have not yet read the 2 in the Stolen Air part in Oak's duology that is in this series. But it's actually the next one I'm gonna read. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you'll have an amazing 2025, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!